Good afternoon, everyone. Today we're making the perfect scrambled eggs. And as you know, every top chef, if they can't cook the perfect egg, they really never get the job. So usually they're asked to cook an egg. So let's do this. Let's cook the perfect scrambled eggs. In today's recipe, we are using 8 eggs. 2 of which of those eggs we'll only be using the yolks from. We will put all of the eggs, crack them into this bowl using just 2 yolks and 8 regular eggs. We're also using a 1/4 cup of half and half. We'll be using 1/4 teaspoon both salt and pepper, and we'll garnish with parsley. To heat our pan, we'll be using 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter. The pan was chosen because it's not too thick and it's not too big. What we're going to do is the dual heat method today. So we will be using both burners. We'll put one burner on medium-high heat, and we'll put the other burner on and a low-high heat. So medium-high and low, we have them both going. But before we start that, let's put the pan over here while we crack our eggs. So what we'll do is we will then crack our eggs into this bowl. All the eggs are being cracked into the bowl. I'm using gloves today because I thought how easy it would be to just crack them right in without having to worry about the mess. They're all cracked in. I got crazy with it because I really don't spend a lot of time wasting energy on spilt milk. So what we're doing is we're only using the yolk. So there's 1 yolk, and then we're only using the yolk. So there's the other yolk. Now, we'll take all of our eggs. I'll go ahead and take my gloves off now. And we will be adding, before we mix, a crucial part to this operation is using our half and half in our egg mixture before we actually beat those eggs. We'll also go ahead and add our pepper and our salt to this recipe. So now is the step of beating. We don't want to overbeat them. We don't want to underbeat them. We want to beat them just right. So overbeating can cause premature coagulation of egg proteins, and that's the reason we don't want to use a blender. So we're hand beating them just like so. Now the reason we use half and half is because it's more stable, and with this half and half, we've tried every method in the book, and the half and half worked the best. It helps minimize dairy tones, boost and balance the flavor, and it raises the coagulation and temperature. So at this point, we will then grab our pan. Let's use our 1 tablespoon of butter, non-salted butter, into our pan. We'll go ahead and let that heat while we finish our beautiful beating of our scrambled egg mixture. So I've almost got the perfect color. At the same time, we're making sure our butter is perfectly coating our stainless steel pan. Another reason why we added half and half today is because it adds liquid that turns to steam, creating soft, fluffy mounds of eggs, which you'll see very soon. So we've got our eggs all mixed together. We've got our butter doing a great job. So looks like we are almost ready to drop our eggs into this pan. So we're going to drop them in, and we're just going to wait just a few minutes. We don't want to drop them in with the thick butter still being thick. It'll just get put into our eggs, which is adding extra fat, which will mess up my dietary analysis that I'm preparing for the class. So as the butter finishes, we are then going to drop the eggs. And remember, we are doing the dual heat method today. So we have 1 on medium-high and 1 on low. We're going to start our eggs on the medium-high burner. So we will go ahead and drop our eggs in. I'm using a heat-temperatured rubber spatula today so that we can easily make and fold perfect eggs. We'll go ahead and let them sit there on the medium-high heat for just a moment. And then we're going to just kind of move the spatula around the bottom of the pan, and you can feel it when you're touching eggs that have already been cooked, and that's a good sign. So we're just kind of doing a side by side, side by side. So we're moving everything around. By moving it around, we're cooking eggs in all different temperatures and making sure we're not missing any pockets. So again, the reason why we're using a smaller pan is because it forces you to mound the eggs on top of each other, trapping steam and ensuring tender, fluffy eggs. You're scraping the eggs with a spatula to form large curds and prevent any spots of eggs to overcook and undercook. And you can see those large curds starting to appear. It looks absolutely beautiful, and we're making the perfect scrambled eggs. We take eggs very seriously in this household, and we do compete over who makes them better, so today looks like it might be a winner. Okay, I'm going to transfer the pan over to the low heat using my dual heating method from our textbook. And as you can see, these eggs are so fluffy and so beautiful because of that half and half, and because of the fact that we made sure we did not beat those eggs until all the ingredients were together. Some people beat the eggs first and then add the milk or cream. That's one of the crucial steps here. So if we were just to use the high heat alone, it could cause overcooking. And that's again why we're using the dual heat method. Scraping eggs with spatula to form large curds. And you can see those large curds coming out, and they're still nice and moist. So, looks like they're all getting cooked at a perfect. Now we're turning it back to our medium-high heat to finish our perfect scrambled eggs today. Okay, we want to make sure that cooking is all the way through on all of our protein here. Again, the smaller pan helps us mound the eggs on top of each other like so. We're trapping steam and ensuring the tender fluffiness. Okay, now we can then, at this point, see, we're then going to turn our burners off, and we're going to transfer this dish to the plate, which then stops the whole cooking process. So we can go ahead and transfer this to the plate. And when we transfer to the plate, I like to go into the middle of the plate, leaving room for a garnish of, say, toast or fruit. And today we're going to garnish with fresh chopped parsley for the perfect scrambled eggs. Enjoy.